If the January 6th assault on the United States Capitol had a face, it would probably be Jacob Chansley's. Yeah! We won't soon forget the horned and shirtless Q-Anon Shaman. Of the roughly 800 people who stormed the Capitol that day, there were plenty of whack jobs. Right-wing extremists and paramilitary groups like the Oath Keepers and Proud Boys terrified the nation, or at least cable news, with their tactical vests and their zip ties. But most of the folks looked a lot like your average Joe rather than Jacob Chansley. They were school teachers, they were real estate agents, they were even former cops.
Retired NYPD officer Thomas Webster surrendered to the FBI. Federal prosecutors say the 54-year-old attacked a Capitol police officer with a flagpole. Webster also allegedly pulled down the officer's helmet, choking him.
The truth is that many of the rioters chanting "Hang Mike Pence" could have been your neighbors, your friends, your family. And that's how a democracy dies, when ordinary people choose violence over voting. And when we can no longer agree on objective reality, like what happened that day. Here's audio from a Capitol police officer fending off the crowd.
We're still taking metal, sharpened objects, missiles, to include bottles and rocks, and hand-thrown chemical-grade fireworks.
Fast forward to Fox News 6 months later.
If this were covered, Tucker, the way the riots of last summer were covered, it would be described as mostly peaceful. And I think to a great extent it was peaceful.
The historical whitewashing seems to be working. Despite President Trump getting impeached for an unprecedented second time, and despite an ongoing House Select Committee investigation into his role on that day, 67% of Republicans polled said they want Trump to continue as a national figure. That's a 10-point jump from last January, right after the insurrection. Recent polling also found 78% of Republicans believe that Biden stole the 2020 election. And that's an increase from 75% in January 2021. In this fractured political landscape, congressional Democrats will struggle to hold on to power come November's midterm elections. And if history is any guide, President Biden may be up for the same kind of, quote, shellacking that humbled his former boss back in 2010.
Feels bad.
But this year, it's not just the Democrats who are in danger, it's increasingly our democracy. Is America really back, as President Biden has promised, or is America's back against the wall?